Alright, in this video, I'm gonna share a key tip, you know what I mean, for people looking to get their CDL. I'm also gonna share my views on going to a mega carrier to get your CDL versus paying out of pocket. But the first way I'm gonna tell you is the cheapest way that I personally know that you could get your CDL. It's just an option. Might not work for everybody, but it's worth giving it a shot if you fall in the category. Alright, so this is what you need to do first thing first. You need, if you got a smartphone, if you got an Android, or if you got an iPhone, you need to download the CDL Study Buddy, or some apps are called CDL Study Guide. You can find it in the App Store, right? And this is for your Class A license, your CDL Class A license. After you download that app, you're gonna study 3 different sections. This is just to get your CDL, right? You're gonna study air brake, right? General knowledge and combination. You're gonna study those 3, just those 3. This is just to get your CDL. If you want to further it later, you can go back and you can take all your different endorsements like your tanker, your doubles, your triples, your hazmat, all that stuff. But just to get your foot in the door, just to get the permit right now, this is what you need. You need combination, air brakes, general knowledge, right? When you study those, and by the way, the app is free. It's not going to cost you anything to download it. When you download those 3 apps, when you study those 3, you go to the DMV, right? You go to the Department of Motor Vehicle. When you go to the Department of Motor Vehicle, you tell them you want to take the CDL Class A license test, which is those 3. You want to take the combination, you want to take the air brake test, and the general knowledge test. Those 3, right? When you take those 3, it's the same thing that you basically studied, right? You go there, you take all those 3. When you take all those 3 and you pass it, now if you fail the first time, you can just easily go back. I think it's like $25 to take them or something like that, depending on where you're living at. Alright, so once you take those 3 and you pass all them 3 tests, the combination, the air brake, and the general knowledge, this is what you're gonna do next. They're gonna give you a permit. So now this permit basically allows you to drive legally on the main roads, a tractor trailer legally, without getting any problems. The next thing that you will need before you can drive, I advise before you go driving, is getting your DOT physical done. Now you can get this done at any one of these like walk-in clinics in your area. You just do some research. I think it's maybe like $100 or so, and they're gonna do a physical, just like a physical. They're not gonna do no blood test or anything, or no drug test or anything like that. They're just gonna check your height, your weight, your sight, all that stuff, you know what I mean? And they're gonna give you a DOT physical medical card. It's called a medical card, right? They're gonna give you this medical card, and then you're now all set. You can literally go drive on the road with a tractor trailer. Now, this is where it's gonna save you a lot of money, and this is where I said it's not for everyone, but if you fall in the category, then yeah, you're good. If you know someone that already has a truck, right? All you're gonna do, you already have your permit, you're just gonna ask them to teach you the ropes, show you the back end, you see what I mean, and give you driving tips for when you're driving on the road. Now, I'm assuming if you're looking to get in your CDL, you already know how to drive. Driving a tractor trailer is pretty much the same as driving a regular 4-wheel car, in my opinion. In some ways, there's things that you do differently, but for the most part, the driving, at least for me, I get so used to it now, it feels like driving a car. Taking turns, you gotta watch your tandems, You gotta always be watching your mirrors. Of course, on cars you don't got your tandems, but you always watch your mirrors when you're in a car. It's the same thing when you're in a tractor trailer. Switching lanes, you gotta pay attention. Pay attention to your blind spots. So those are the things that you're gonna ask your driver to teach you about. You know what I mean? Then the most important part of it that you need to get from the driver is learning about the backing. You know what I mean? So they're gonna just teach you the ropes of how to do the backing, right? Once you get those two things down pat, this is what you're basically gonna do. You're gonna go back home now, right? And you're gonna find your local CDL school. Most places it costs maybe like $300 or $200 just to go do testing. See what I mean? You pay the fine, whatever it is, and then you go do the testing. You pass the testing, they give you your piece of paper, you take it to the DMV, boom, you got your CDL. You know what I mean? That's the easiest way and the cheapest way right now in this day to get your CDL. You see what I mean? If there's another way, somebody else watching this that knows a cheaper way or of a different alternative, drop it down below in the comment section and let me know, because I'd love to help people out with that information also. But that's the cheapest way I know right now for you to get your CDL. See what I mean? I'm gonna tell you my views, and this is just my opinion on either if you go to the mega carrier to get your CDL or if you pay out of pocket to get your CDL, right? Now, the thing is, with the mega carriers, I never went to a mega carrier, so I can't speak for everything on it. You know what I mean? But this is what I think about the cons of going to a mega carrier is. If you go to a mega carrier, basically the training experience is usually a long time, which you do need training before you get out here on the road. It's for your safety, don't get me wrong, but it's usually a long time. And the hardest part about that is most people don't like being on a truck with somebody else that they don't really know for an extensive period of time, 3-4 months at a time. You know what I mean? Most people don't like that. Some people will sacrifice maybe 2 weeks to a month or whatever, but some companies, they want you to be out there with a trainer for like 4 months. You know what I mean? Or they're 40,000 miles or 60,000 miles. Some people don't like that. So that's what I think, that's a downfall. The next thing about that is also, if you try to leave, let's say you decide to leave after 9 months of being there, usually they want you to sign a contract for you to work with them within a year, for a year after you get your CDL, or they want you to sign a contract to say you're gonna do like 80,000 miles or 100,000 miles after you get your CDL. That's usually about a year driving or more. If you do 9 months out of that year and you decided that, okay, you know what, you're not getting paid any money, you're not making any money, you're not comfortable or whatever it is, and you decide to leave after the 9 months, they will still try, some companies, not all, some companies, they will still try to get you for that entire duration of the period that they trained you. You see what I mean? They won't look at it and say, okay, you know what, you worked 9 months already, so we just deduct the 9 months worth of payments that you already made since you've been working there. Let's just say you paid that 9 months already, so you just owe us 3 months. Nah, they try to get you, and usually it's like 10,000, 12,000. I heard some ridiculous amount of money when I went to Trans Am, and some of the guys that were coming from different companies, they were talking about how much they owed. Now, some companies, I've heard that you can get away with it. You know what I mean? You can leave and not pay them anything. And then some companies, they put it onto your credit report. So it's almost like a collection or something, you know what I mean? And nobody want to mess their stuff up. So what I mean? So that's another downside to go into a mega carrier. It's usually, you know, a big figure if you decide to walk away. Now, if you find a mega carrier that will give you your CDL and pay you, you know, a decent amount of money while you're training, because usually in the first year you don't really make any money anyways, but at least a living, not some $200-300 paychecks a week. And I'm not knocking anybody that's making that kind of money, but at the same time, it's like people have responsibilities, people have their life to live, you know what I mean? And you're sacrificing time out here on the road. Sometimes you're out for like weeks and months and days and whatever, you know what I mean? So if you find a good enough company that will train you and still give you a decent enough stipend, then yeah, you can take that road. I would say if you got the money, you should pay out of pocket and go to a CDL school. Now I've been calling around, see some CDL schools around here in Florida. I personally paid $3,400 for my CDL license, and I got the certificate program. I did a certificate program. It could have been cheaper. I think they were offering like maybe like $1,900 for automatic in West Palm Beach, and $1,900 for automatic, and that wasn't with a certificate. But I did the certificate program, so I paid out of pocket $3,400, I believe. I paid. You didn't have to pay everything all at once, and that's how I did it. I paid $1,500 up front, and when I was in the process of trading, I basically paid off the rest. I've seen guys there, if you're testing time, if you're gonna stay there for 2.5 months, I think that's how long I did mine, because I was only going a few hours a day. But I've seen guys there where if you didn't pay off all the amount by the time your testing time came, they wouldn't let you test out unless you paid everything, you know what I mean? So that's a pro and that's a con to some people. I've been calling different schools in Florida right now, and I've been hearing some ridiculous amount of money that you got to pay. It's like some $5,000-6,000, almost $7,000 if you want to pay out of pocket, and they offer financing. The cheapest one I found, other than the school that I went to, was like $5,700, and they don't have a payment plan. You have to have all the money up front all at once, and it's like 4 weeks, and then you get your CDL. You know, not everybody has that kind of money. Not everybody want to max a credit card out. Not everybody want to put that on a credit card or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's just my few cents on what I think about the cheapest way to get your CDL, and my opinion on if you should go to a mega carrier or if you should pay out of pocket and get your CDL. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or concerns, if I missed anything, drop it down below in the section. If you know a better way or a better alternative, drop it down below in the comment section, and let me know what you guys think about the video.